Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Crate Expectations. I'm here with Yawning Sarah today. How are you today, Yawning Sarah?
I'm good. I did not nap. I fully intended to, and then I didn't.
Oh, you didn't. See, I napped, actually.
Thanks.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I was super grumpy when I woke up.
It doesn't make me feel any better.
Well, and now I'm grumpy, but that didn't
uh,
help, so
yeah, I did not nap. It's fine.
this is fine. So, gosh, we've had a relatively silent news cycle for
Yeah.
Galaxy of Heroes, which is actually, it's like, I don't know if I could handle another big announcement. They're like, guys, something else is coming out soon. Get ready for a puzzle. I'd be like, could we just delay that for a month or two? Like, I don't have the energy.
Can we have a breather?
Can you give Sarah time for a nap?
Please. Yeah, but it's kind of weird because I've also gotten used to them giving us stuff every week that I'm like, oh. There's
Yeah.
nothing really here today. Okay, fine.
Yeah, I'm actually so I'm expecting this week that we'll have someone farmable, probably like one of the Java requirement guys, or like I
Hmm.
guess Scando, because he's
Hmm.
not actually farmable yet, is he?
No, no, he's not. So,
So I bet this week we get that, and then we could talk a little bit about the web store that they just announced a few hours ago.
so this was data mined. I don't know if you saw this. This was data mined a few weeks ago, and everyone didn't really know what the deal was with it. But they announced it today, so it's in I guess it's in some kind of beta form right now, only in Britain. Um, but it's gonna roll out
Dirty,
worldwide.
dirty.
Yeah.
No, yeah. So that'll be interesting to see what they do.
Hmm.
I cracked a joke with in my patron chat, which you responded to, but I was like, man, oh, because okay, so they one of the perks that they said, this is
Hmm.
just on the official forums, guys. If you want to go look at it, it's not a big post, but basically, like you can buy the normal packs on this store, and you can buy other packs as well, and you can link it to your account, all this stuff. But then you also get a daily login reward
Right.
if you go and log in, like, and the login rewards aren't that amazing. It's like 100 shard shop currency, or
Right.
like some guild store stuff, so not that crazy. But I was like, yeah, well, that'll suck for Sarah. She's gonna have to do that for Professor X, and we'll work something out. We'll see if you actually have to or not, but no.
How it works. Well, this is the thing because people are like, "Oh, I have to go to a website." I'm like, "Yeah, but I don't know if it's that big of a deal." I will say, I will. It will be significantly easier if there's just a button in game that I can click and it takes me, like it opens the browser
Mm,
and it just takes me to it, and then I don't have to like log in and all of that.
yeah.
I'm lazy. Help me. Just let me push a button. I don't care if the button takes me out into the site because sometimes they do that with their pop-ups and it takes you to the forum, right?
Right.
Um, so I'm fine with that. Take me if you want me to go to a browser, but put a button in game. Make it easy for me.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, the question would be like, would it automatically log you in or not?
Right. I would like to vote yes if I'm clicking the button from my account,
I hope it does.
but maybe
Well,
not.
so okay, so you and I, like, you have your account and you have my alternate account on your
Mhm.
phone. I have my account, my alternate account, and your account on my phone.
Right.
Could I log in? Like, could I log in through all? Could I collect all three
Right.
things through that? Or it's like, well, I've already logged in on my main account. Like, is it gonna sign me out, sign me in on a new one?
Hmm. Yeah, I think you're gonna have to sign in on each one.
Hmm. I mean, it's probably fine. And also, the rewards didn't look like they were so amazing that you're like, oh, I need. Though that Omega did look pretty spicy,
Mhm. I mean, I'm not gonna say no to a free 50 Cantina
right?
energy or free 50 any energy. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I'll take that.
Well, they need to make it easy to access, though. I mean, my first response to people who are like, "Really, I have to log in on a website now?" I'm like, "So you don't just don't go to websites otherwise? Like
Well,
that's not like a thing for you? Like you just don't want to go to websites? Like,
it's funny because like somebody said that too, and I was like, the game is on your phone, and like we play it on the internet.
right?
So
It's a really big deal, though.
yeah,
So one of the things though that I think is interesting. So right now I mean you do you get play points? I don't know
no,
how it works. So Canada you don't get play
you
points.
do not get play points. So that's was the thing because I saw a lot of people talking about this that they would still use the regular like Play Store or
Hmm.
Google Store to make purchases through the game because you get play points.
Yeah, I have a ton of play points, and I'm too lazy to like. They only let you redeem one pack at a time, and the smaller pack is the most appealing to me.
Hmm.
But I have like I could redeem over 100 of those small packs at this point because I've spent enough money through Google. But
Hmm.
they're all like it comes with crystals, comes with relic upgrade mats. Like it's a nice little package. That's what. Uh, but
uh, uh,
yikes! But but she the yeah, like I don't know why I would go to the web store and actually purchase something. My guess is that they'll have at the very start probably some really nice exclusive packs there that really make you want to. You're like, oh yeah, I don't even need play points as an incentive. I would just go grab it anyways.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. They're gonna, well, and they did say that they're not going to have any exclusive stuff in the store until the store is available worldwide.
Oh,
So
okay.
while this beta is happening, the only thing that's in there, I mean, I think they are getting the free thing right now to test it. Um,
Terrible.
but I think that all of the other packs are just your regular packs that are in there right now.
It's okay as long as they're not giving away K2SO for free.
So, but yeah, I know this is going to be interesting because I have a friend who works for Google. Um, and he has mentioned to me before that they were maybe thinking of developing like similar to play points but for Canada.
Oh,
So I'm curious if that is just not going to happen. I mean, not that they're not going to do that just because Galaxy of Heroes is making a web store, but I'm curious if things like that might be put on the back burner if more games start doing their own store.
right. Well, I always thought it was an interesting thing because so it used to be like so now what all the mega krakens do and everything to for the new galactic legend, like there are probably people already hoarding energy now that they have Jabba, but they just hoard energy, like they buy to the capacity and then they just add their 45, 45, 45 from the free energy
Mm-hmm.
to it until such a time comes that a new galactic legend is here, then they can just immediately farm the galactic legend and his ult like in one day and just have it done, and it's just available instantaneously. Like I don't do that, and I think that that's actually that's a very whale type game to play. Like you
Yeah.
because the free energy that you generate is actually worth quite a bit to day-to-day players, but some people do it and that's fine. You have to do four refreshes in Cantina if you want to do that, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like there are people who are already doing that, but what they used to do instead was generate Google Play points, and then
Right.
you just buy the packs, and they had energy in those packs.
Mm-hmm.
And then CG was like, "Oh, that's not cool, bro." So they just took away the energy. Didn't like they just made the packs less awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but it was a little bit unfair because no one on iTunes, for instance, could do it, and apparently no one in Canada either.
Right, exactly. Because I remember people talking about those packs, and I was like, I want those. Like, and I can't get them. So
Hmm.
this is interesting. I'm also curious if it's going to be fixed pricing like how the Google Play Store is, and or like it's always $9.99 US or $13.99 Canadian, et cetera, et cetera. Or if it's going to be only in US and you pay the exchange rate, or if it's just going to fluctuate with the exchange rate, like what the deal is going to be. Because I would think like you're going directly to EA and CG here. There's no middleman involved. Just
Yeah,
curious.
I don't know. I just don't know what their motivation to do this is. Like, because if you have to think that they're going to make more money off of this, because why go through the bother of it? Or Google is just like,
Right.
no, we're not going to support monetization anymore, which I think would be crazy. But like, there's some business reason for them doing this, and
Well, you now don't have to give Google and iTunes a cut. So if you buy a vault, Google and iTunes aren't taking a percentage of that for their income. It's all
right.
going straight to CG.
Right, but they're gonna have to price it such that will actually like, because it is inconvenient to go to a website. Like I know
Mm-hmm.
that was my first response of like, go to a website, but I don't want to have to go, like, especially if I'm just on my phone. A lot of times the web stores on phones, phone browsers are just pretty clunky, tough to navigate, and
Mm-hmm.
it's nice. Like in game, I mean, it's also dangerous if you're spending money, but like you just have one push. You're like, I want to buy this, and you just push one time. You don't have to second guess yourself. You're just like, boom, and I have it instantly. It's in the game. I'm already in the game. I can go spend it
Yeah.
instead of the inconvenience of going to the store. And so they'll have to price it in such a way, because honestly, like, I like this game, and CG has made a decent game, and I've spent money on the game. Not as like a way to support the game specifically, but I have supported the game. I don't care about them making a little extra for me being inconvenienced. Like
Right.
they can go f themselves in terms of that. Like I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, I'll just go to the web store because it helps CG. Like I'm not gonna play that game. I don't care,
Right. Like
frankly.
if the vault is the same price on the web store and in game, there's no incentive for you to buy it in the web store.
Right, like none,
Yeah.
like zero. In fact, I'm like, you know what? I think I approve of Google and their business practices more, so I'd rather give them some money.
Well, so like the only reason I'm going to check it is because I will take that free pack every day. Thank you very
Hmm.
much. I'm not going to turn my nose up at that. And
Sure.
then I'm also just curious what the web exclusive packs will be, because if they are really good, then I would be tempted.
Yeah, well, and absolutely. I think it's just we make business decisions. Like it's not, they make business decisions. They decide that they want to weight the rarity of datacrons, and that's their business choice, and the
Right.
market responds, I guess. But similarly, I'm also not going to just bend over backwards just out of sentiment for them. Like, oh, poor CG, they need more money. Like, go fix some bugs first, CG. Like
True.
stop crashing. Like give me my 200 plus conquest energy back.
Mm-hmm.
I have red crate now. Let me sim the frickin' nodes now. Like, all right, I'm gonna stop ranting.
It's
But
all good. I was gonna say give me my crashes in GAC back, but you know,
stop being bitter.
fine.
Talking.
I'm not bitter at all. They didn't cost me a win.
It's frustrating, man.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so web store, whatever.
Yeah,
I,
that's
I don't
fine.
know. I'm guessing it's not going to factor hugely into future things, but it is noteworthy. It is really the only news that we've had, other than the fact that we have had no news.
Mm-hmm.
So I wondered if you wanted to talk a little bit about. I know you put a video out a few months ago about scouting in GAC,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought maybe we could talk about that a little bit today.
Mm-hmm.
Because the new 5v5 season is here, and you've said to me that you're going to try harder this season. You care more
Right.
about 5v5.
I do.
Not that you have to try super hard. I'm not trying to like, you said it, you got to do
Mm-hmm.
it. But I'm curious though, like how are you approaching this? Like you got your new opponent here, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
not asking you to reveal anything like vitally important to this match, but like what do you do to when you want to scout, like when you want to look at your opponent's stuff, like what's part of your
So
process?
the first thing I do is run the compare in Hotbot. Um,
Which is free, by the way.
yeah. So I run that and then I get an idea right away on mods and datacrons and key characters, so galactic legends. And then there's a whole list of other characters that are important and ships. So I can see if we're kind of evenly matched or if I'm kind of gonna have to like go in and cross my fingers sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then so then the next thing I do is I go to their .gg page and I look at their datacrons to see which level 9s they have, if they have any level 9s. If they don't have any, then I honestly am like, fine. But I go and
Sure.
see which ones they have, how many, etc. And I check which Omicrons they have on their .gg as well. And then I just look at their habits. Like, do they clear the in their history? Do they clear the board usually? Do they go really heavy defense? Do they use the exact same teams on offense? The thing that is tricky now is the datacrons because you never know what they're doing on offense or defense with them. So I usually am just assuming if I see a level 9 Lord Vader Datacron and they have set Lord Vader on defense in the past repeatedly, I will assume that Datacron will be with Lord Vader. Because really there's nothing else I can do with that information other than assume that they would put 2 and 2 together. And then if I think it's something that I can work around, great. And if I think it's something I can't work around, I adjust my plan to have a backup. But we'll see. So that's what I do. And then the whole thing takes maybe, depending on how crazy in depth I want to go with their history, I don't spend more than 20 minutes looking at it.
Yeah, that's probably good.
Yeah.
How often do you adjust your teams on defense? Like, do you do it if you scout? Do you tend to change a few teams, a couple team, like a ton? Do you just like,
It,
well, I scouted them. I'm just not going to change anything again.
it depends on what they have. Like if they have, I mean, I'll use the example for if they have like the Lord Vader Datacron with the cooldown on it, I can't counter that theoretically without dash. I don't have the BAM Datacron, and so I don't think Fennec's gonna work. So I'm probably gonna need dash. So if they have that, then I would want to keep dash and and I would change my team around. But if they don't have that, I would probably take a risk.
Okay.
So I don't I don't overhaul my defense, as you know. And also my ships have not changed in like almost a year.
Well, that's fine.
But like I'll tweak one or two things and I'll move things around and see if it works better if it's in the front or if it's in the back. And like I do try to trap people still.
It's good. You shouldn't
So
stop.
yeah. Sometimes it's fun. Usually it's slamming your head against a wall.
I know. You're like, oh man, they got to my back zone, and then they cleared all my back zone for really good banners. So damn it all.
Yeah, you're like, great, awesome. And
um,
then your game crashes, so
no.
no, never
Oh,
happens.
oh no. So I actually, one thing I do want to point out though, and I know that you do this as well. Part of the scouting process can actually be during the GAC match, because if they
Mhm.
attack first and you have PrimeBot, which is a free bot that you can use on, I don't know, do you have PrimeBot on the HNN server?
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
so
do.
either of our Discord servers, find in the video description, and it's free. So it just it updates you once it's use a slash command or whatever. Once you figure that out, though, then it tells you whenever it checks periodically, every couple minutes to see if your opponent has had their GAC score changed at all, and what the change has been. And so it'll tell you like 54, or I guess now we have to recalibrate our numbers for 5v5. So
Right.
like 65, wait, 67. Is it 67 or 65? I think 65 is the soft max, and then 69 is the hard max for 5v5.
Yeah.
But it'll say like, hey, your opponent got a 60. So you're like, oh, sweet, they dropped 5 banners. But then you can kind of extrapolate, especially if you put certain teams up front and you're like, oh, they definitely used a Galactic Legend up there because they got a 59 or
Right.
69, whatever.
Right. Yeah. So you can kind of guess and then see what they're doing.
Well, then you're like, well, I'm pretty sure that they use Sith Eternal on my General Skywalker team. Therefore, I can go to the back zone and not have to save my Sith Eternal squad on offense,
Right. Exactly.
just in case.
Right.
I mean, you take your risks because maybe they just used like a different Galactic Legend and it's had a similar result somehow. But yeah, that's definitely one way to do it. Or one little trick or tip or whatever.
Yeah. I use PrimeBot all the time. The thing that I have fallen into the habit of doing, and this is like crazy neurotic, so I'm not suggesting that everyone else do that. I will message PrimeBot back after each score. So if it's like 60 and it's on my gas, then I'll type gas. And then that way I can just kind of keep track of what they're doing on what team. Which is kind of fun and also ridiculously neurotic and has no effect really on what I'm doing. Because obviously if I'm able to go into the game to check what their score is, I'm able to kind of guess right away what they've used.
No, I mean it's nice to have that differentiation of being able to know. Like sometimes you go to bed and you wake up and it's just like a pile of numbers because they've attacked.
Yeah.
And then you just look for the ones and twos because you're like, oh, okay, cool, they failed a couple times. Or if they didn't, you're like, this is gonna be a rough match. this is not going well.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't think my scouting process has changed too much. It is a little trickier with datacrons because it does make the history more interesting.
Oh, certainly. Yeah. I mean, especially now. Well, so GG is pretty flawed in that like you can't actually see what datacron someone used. So you just see like this really weird result of like one of the ways you could tell people were cheating, for instance, it used to be like that they like if they use the APK, they load it, and then some attacks will attack just protection, or sorry, they'll attack beneath protection just to health, and
Right.
so you could tell that they're cheating because when they win, the characters that they had killed still have full protection,
Yeah.
But now, like you see that, and you're like, oh, a Jedi team beat them. Oh, they probably just used riposte,
Yeah. Exactly.
or they cheated. Who knows? Like
Who
it
knows?
could be any damn thing.
Which I mean, I think it would be great if we could get that added. I'm assuming that it's not there because the guys who run .gg can't pull it.
Yeah, or they just are taking a while to integrate it. They've actually made a few really nice changes to the scouting over time, but it has always taken months to be able to realize that. So yeah, I don't expect it to be anytime too soon. It would be nice though.
It wouldn't surprise me if they couldn't pull it because I remember talking to Hot Sauce about the territory battle commands in Hot Utils and how it tells you if your guild members how many combat missions they've completed. And I was like, it would be great if it would differentiate from fleet and ground combat missions, so you could tell the difference and who's done what. And he was like, I can't make it differentiate because it doesn't differentiate on CG servers. So like they don't even collect the data themselves, which is why I'm curious, like, is CG even collecting the data in terms of what datacron was used?
I bet they are. I'm sure, like they're paying attention to Datacrons a lot right now.
But would it be what Datacron was used, or is there just one equipped?
I think that I think that they're watch. They have to be more specific. I would think. Maybe I could be wrong. I don't know. They've been so successful for so long, and I know people don't like to hear that because they want CG to be really stupid
Hmm.
for some reason. But they have a startling amount of data at their disposal, and they actually use it to make wise business decisions, which isn't always popular with
Hmm.
us. Um, but I mean, they've made a lot of money, so I would get. So either I'm misinterpreting it, and like the type of datacron is just not business relevant somehow,
Right.
or so maybe they don't pick it up, or maybe they do and they just don't make it available.
Right. Yeah. I don't know.
Hmm.
It's it would be unbelievably helpful though.
Oh, it would be really nice for sure. Yeah, so in terms of scouting for me, like one of the biggest things, I do the compare and all that, but for the most part, like it's almost uh, like I both of my accounts just live in the land of giants, kind of like I. It's always surprising to see something green on the compare that isn't like, hey, you have the most like gear 12s.
Right.
Like, hey, like congratulations. Your opponent's upgraded all of his gear 12, so you have more than him. You know, it's so when I see that, it's nice, but at the same time, like if I roster someone, I'm like, oh crap, like either I've really underperformed lately and I've dropped significantly, or like this guy has some serious skills. And so I think that for me, it's looking at the history and looking at patterns, trying to find like what, I think more than watching what he has on defense, because defense people get sneaky, especially with my main. Because I'm playing against people who are also very interested in GAC, and so a lot of times they'll just shift their defenses, and they'll shift them based on their scouting of me and everything too. And so what I look at, because this doesn't really change that much, is like what their offensive range is.
Yeah.
Like the people who are scariest to me are the people who are like, okay, like they faced General Skywalker 3 different times and they killed him 3 different ways with non-galactic legends.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that's the scariest because they're versatile. They know how to do it. But if they're like, oh yeah, every single time they kill General Skywalker with CLS like that, and that goes back for months,
Hmm.
like then I can place my General Skywalker with a pretty reasonable, degree of prediction of being able to know, like, of certainty that they're gonna attack my General Skywalker with CLS. Like maybe I've modded my General Skywalker in a way that's resistive to CLS, or maybe I'm just fine with him getting those low of banners, or maybe I want him to use CLS so he can't use him on something in the back.
Hmm.
Or maybe this time I'm like, you know what? He's too successful with that. He kills General Skywalker for too cheap. I'm just gonna keep him on offense this time,
Hmm.
and give him something different. But looking at the offensive range to me has really improved my scouting.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I've started. That's what I started doing a couple of months, like even before Datacrons. That's how I was leaning into it because it was it's significantly easier to trap people that way. Bless you.
Thanks. I hope only you got to hear that. I think I turned off my mic on the recording. Uh, um, I only wish that on you. All right, so
Lovely.
we've got one minute left. We're gonna do our trigger photo here,
Hmm.
and so people have been so kind lately. And they've noticed my complaining about not being able to get the bonus turn or datacron for TIE fighter pilots. So this guy sent me a picture of 3 datacrons that they have 3 level 9 TIE fighter pilots.
Hmm. Are any of them the bonus turn?
So I asked that, and I was immediately less triggered when they said only one was the bonus turn.
Oh, only one. Okay. So they have one and then two spares.
Yeah, so have fun with that. I
Yeah.
hope you find 2 more TIE fighter pilots to use. Anyways, guys, We're out of time. Go to Sarah's channel. There should be a button to click right now, or go in the video description. We'll carry on over there.
Mhm.
It'll be great.
Great.
It'll be great.